RunaMarie Wolf here, and today I'm going to show you how to kind of meal plan. So I meal plan every week, kind of at the middle of the week, because that's when my days off are. My days off are in the middle of the week. So I go ahead and meal plan during the middle of the week. And I go ahead and I buy my groceries, and then how I start is, even though I am off on Thursday, Friday, and that's when I meal plan, I don't really start my meals for the week until Sunday. So that kind of gives me an idea of how I'm gonna set and lay out the week. Because of course weeks, I meal prep mostly on Sunday because my son goes to school, and then, that's just kind of how I start my week, even though my week doesn't end until the middle of the week. Get what I'm saying? So, most of the time, with meal planning, you want to use what's already in your house. So go ahead, make a list. What I normally do is I normally keep really good track of what I have in the pantry. I can easily look and see what I have in the pantry, and I know the stuff in the pantry is not gonna go bad like within the next week. So what I do is I make a list of all the things that are gonna go bad or I want to use up within the week if possible. Some of these I don't, like my potatoes and onions, like those can wait because potatoes and onions have a longer shelf life. But I know that those are fresh ingredients that I want to use faster than I can with my canned or, shelf stable items. And then have a list of your meats. So I am very thankful. I have a deep freezer. It's right here. My deep freezer holds all of my meat, and I buy my meat on sale. I get it really cheap pricings. I really honestly just buy in bulk too. So sometimes I buy meat in bulk and I actually divide it myself. So I get a lot of meat all at once and I stock my deep freeze, and that way I don't have to worry about meat. I know what meat I have. I meal plan off of what meat I have. And then if I want to add, some stuff that I don't have on here, like this is mostly chicken. Let's see, I have chicken, turkey, beef, pork. That's mostly what I have in my freezer. If I wanted to, have cod, or if I wanted to have salmon, or if I wanted to have duck, just to splurge a little bit throughout the week, then I could plan around that as well. These are just my basic staples of meat that I have in the freezer. Now, of course, whenever you're meal planning, you may not have a deep freezer like I do. And so what you would need to do is you would need to base what do you want to have that week. I have the variety that I can pick, in between beef, pork, turkey, chicken. So I can kind of mix and match. There may be times where you have to do mostly chicken or mostly pork because, chicken, well, I think pork is actually cheaper right now. So, beef is pretty expensive. I do not have a lot of beef on here. I do not have a lot of turkey either. Sometimes turkey is a lot more expensive. So what you do is you meal plan off of your stuff that's going to go bad first, and then build it around that. Try to buy as little as possible because you want to be cycling through what you have first and then bring stuff out. That's how I meal plan. So what I have that's probably going to go bad within the week. I have my fruits. So I have mandarin oranges, kiwis, lemons. In the fridge, so I have mandarin oranges, kiwis, and lemons. These are my fruits. What I have in my fridge, I have brown mushrooms, I have a package of gnocchi that I opened, I have some homemade applesauce, I have eggs, I have bacon, pepperoni, and I have canned biscuits. Canned biscuits can kind of, stay in there, but it is an honorable mention. Also, over on my shelf, I have potatoes and onions. I know those aren't going to go bad within the next week, but it's always nice to have those fresh ingredients on hand. I don't normally have a lot of fresh vegetables. Most of the time, whenever I meal plan, I bring in fresh vegetables, or I used canned vegetables. Most of the time, my vegetables are cooked, and I don't normally, have raw vegetables around the house just because I eat carrots, raw carrots, but that's pretty much it. So I can kind of get away with having frozen, canned, and very rarely bringing in fresh vegetables and actually cooking them. Just because canned vegetables are, like, I would say safer in my opinion, because I know that they're not going to go bad within a couple of days of me getting them from the supermarket. So these are what I have to use up as quickly as I can. Here I have my meat that I can choose from, and then I also know what I have in my pantry, roughly. So what I normally do is, so I have right here all of the things that would go bad within the week, or that I want to use up pretty quickly. And then I have on this side, it's days. So Sunday starts at the bottom just because this list is weird. This is actually a meal planner. My mom got it for me, but I just kind of use it for a bunch of things. So here you would, make all of your little days, Sunday through Monday, and just kind of put what you want on meal plans. And of course, you can meal plan for the whole week. Mostly what I do is I have lunches. Lunches, we either eat canned items, or we kind of not really snack around, but mostly like eat leftovers. We don't really have a set lunch because we work night shifts. Me and my partner, we work night shifts. So by lunch, we're technically asleep at that point. Everyone else's dinner would be our breakfast. So mostly what we eat for lunch is actually like our dinner, if that makes sense, because whenever we get off work, we're going right to bed. We're not eating dinner after work. Does that make sense? So we really don't have like a lunch. Even though it is a lunch, it's more like we're eating dinner during our lunch. But for our breakfast, that's normally a set thing for breakfast. Biscuits, waffles, hash browns, things of that nature. Really quick, I meal prep those in bulk. So those I don't have to worry about. Lunch, don't have to worry about. So what I am meal planning today is dinner, technically. So, and you don't have to get a fancy meal planner. You can just get a composition notebook, a 3-ring notebook. This is an old composition notebook that I had whenever I was in college. So, I just rip pages out of it whenever I'm done. Use what you got. Type a note on your phone, So, looking at the things I have, what I'm going to do is I'm going to brainstorm first. So I see the things that I have that I want to get rid of as quick as possible. So the first thing that comes to my mind are these lemons. So lemons are really, really good in your dishes. So you can do lemons with chicken, fish. You can use them to really cut out on some really sweet things. So whenever I look at lemons, I'm immediately thinking chicken. I'm thinking maybe some pork chops, kind of like a tropical pork chop. I really wouldn't use lemon on beef. You could use lemons to help tenderize as well. It helps tenderize your meat. So you could use the lemons as a meat tenderizer and not actually use them in the dish. But what I'm seeing here, lemons. So with lemons, I would, and checking on my meat list, so let's see, I have quite a bit of chicken breast. So what I am thinking, and plus what I have in the pantry, so I would take the lemons, some chicken breast, rice, and some spices, and I would make a lemon rice dish, a lemon herb chicken rice dish, and then you would pair it with some vegetables. Probably with that I would do lemon herb chicken rice dish, maybe some green beans, something green. Green beans. Not really a big asparagus fan. Totally do it if you can. You can also roast your asparagus in the lemon and kind of bring in the lemon with that as well. Green beans. I wouldn't normally do broccoli, but that's an option. You can definitely do broccoli. You could do if you wanted to, you could do a roasted veggie dish. So you could do onions, carrots, potatoes, and let's see, onions, carrots, potatoes, garlic. Do some broccoli, and you can cook those all together on a sheet pan, maybe with some lemon pepper on top to help incorporate that lemon as well. There's just a lot of things you can do with side dishes, but I'm mostly focusing on main dishes and some side dishes. So that's one. We have a lemon chicken rice dish with green beans or roasted veggies. Easy peasy. And in those roasted veggies, I could incorporate some of the brown mushrooms that I have over here. So that is probably what I'm going to do for a side dish. I'm going to have lemon herb chicken rice dinner with roasted veggies. Okay, so that clears one. Now, let me see. I have quite a few lemons, honestly, so I'll probably make another lemon dish. Now, with your dishes, you do not want to get burned out. So if you have lemon chicken on this day, you do not want to have lemon chicken on another day. You're just going to get burnt out. So, okay, so since we did a lemon chicken, let's see if we can do a lemon pork. So let me see. Okay, so let's see. So with pork, let's see, I have some pork chops, some pork strips, pork steaks, pork nuggets, and pork loin. So what I'll probably do is I'll probably take pork chops. So I'll take lemons with pork chops, shredded coconut, breadcrumbs, and some spices. And, of course, an egg for help combining that together. So that is going to be a lemon shredded coconut baked pork chops. And that sounds like that would be good with those roasted veggies again. Or I could see possibly doing maybe some rice, maybe some lemon herb rice. Get some more lemon in there as well. Okay, looky there. That's 2 days down. Now, I will let you guys know. Normally, I do a leftover day. Leftover days normally on Sunday. So what I do is I'm really, really bad about eating leftovers. So, and of course, once you make something, it's normally good only 2 to 3 days in the fridge. So if you make something on Monday and your leftover day isn't until Sunday, whatever you make there is not still going to be good on leftover day. Now, that's okay if you have leftovers and you eat them for lunch, or snacks, and stuff like that. But I normally don't like a lot of leftovers in the fridge. It just really takes up my fridge space. I don't like the visual noise whenever I open up the fridge. So what I do is I normally organize this to where my Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, normally those are going to be my leftover less or leftover deficient meals. Meals that I can make that won't really have leftovers, or that I can carry on food to the next day so that it's used before the rest of the week. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Now, if whatever you make on Thursday is really going to be pushing it on that third day whenever you do Sunday leftovers or whatever day you choose, you could also put leftovers in the middle of the week. Absolutely. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, have a leftover day. You could even have 2 leftover days in the week. So you could do, if you're really bad at portion control and you just make way too much food, you could do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, have a leftover day on Thursday, then do Friday, Saturday, leftover on Sunday. So, you know. You could also build in an eat out day on here. I'm really trying to cut out on my eating out, so don't normally build that in. Kind of gives me more structure, you know. I don't leave the house. I work at home and I take my son to school, and that's really all I do in a day, unless I'm out shopping for groceries. So, don't really have much time to get food to eat out. So, but we got those 2. If we count the leftover day, that's 3 days we already have out of our 7. So, let's see. So that took care of our lemons. So I'm just gonna march through the lemons. And what I'm doing over here is, just to show you guys, I'm putting what would be involved in the dish and then the name. And then over here, I have a couple of side dishes that would go good with it. Just to kind of keep everything. And then of course I'm drawing a line to like block out. Okay, so if I use the ground mushrooms in the roasted veggies for both, I guess I can kind of stagger them. So I see I have gnocchi, applesauce, eggs, bacon, pepperoni, canned biscuits, mandarin oranges, kiwis. Mandarin oranges and kiwis, those are going to be really hard to incorporate into dishes. If I didn't already have a lemon coconut crusted pork chop, I would do an orange pork chop, which is really, really good, but I don't know about doing 2 pork chops in a week. Let me see. If anything, I can just peel the mandarin oranges and eat them all myself. I may die at the end of the day. Just kidding. Okay, let's see. Gnocchi. Okay, I have gnocchi. Applesauce, eggs, bacon, pepperoni, canned biscuits. Okay. So whenever I see bacon, I immediately think of some sort of side dish, maybe like green beans with bacon, or maybe some baked potatoes. I could do a loaded baked potato, or if I wanted to lean more on a crock pot side dish, I could do the loaded baked potatoes in the crock pot. That sounds really good, actually, because that would use up my cheese that I have in the fridge as well. So, that'll be one of my crock pot dishes. Sometimes I like to do crock pot dishes whenever I'm working. That way I just make it before I go to work and it's ready whenever I'm on lunch. So, let's see. Now the loaded baked potato, put that in there. The loaded baked potato crock pot dish is a dish all on itself. You really don't need a side dish with it. So what you would need for that is you would need potatoes, you would need your bacon, you would need your cheese, you would need your spices, and some sour cream if you wanted, or green chives. Just completely up to you. Super easy. Most of it, how we're going, we only have about 4 things with each of these. Now, if you wanted to, with your loaded baked potato crockpot dish, you could also do onions. You could also do garlic. I don't like onions and garlic on my potatoes, but you do you. Completely how you want to make them. So, look at that. We already have 4 of our dishes figured out for the week. Let's make muffin tin pizzas. Super simple. What you'll need is just some canned biscuits, some pepperoni, cheese, your spices, and tomato sauce. Super easy. And of course you need a baking tin. Muffin tin pizzas, I feel like that would need a really light. The muffin tin pizzas are kind of finger food, so you would probably want to have something akin to that as a side dish, or, I mean, most of the time people don't eat side dishes with pizza, so you could just have the muffin tin pizzas and just call it an easy night. Okay, look at that. We got 5 so far. Now, let's see. Let's see if we can use that in gnocchi. Now, what I love to do with a gnocchi is make a copycat Olive Garden chicken and gnocchi soup. Now, think I have some frozen spinach in the fridge, and if I did, that would be perfect. But I do not have milk or heavy cream. I have powdered milk. So if I was to do that, that would have to be used with powdered milk and not normal milk. And I don't have any heavy cream either, so it would be kind of a weird take on it. So I did some recipe searching just because I couldn't think of anything with gnocchi, and I couldn't really find a recipe, but I saw them using gnocchi with a red tomato sauce. So, and I saw mushrooms, but it was just the gnocchi, mushrooms, and red sauce, and spices and stuff like that. And I was thinking, I was like, I bet I could do like a shredded chicken gnocchi with tomato sauce and mushrooms, and that would take care of some of my mushrooms for me. So, tomato sauce. Gonna have a gnocchi. We're gonna have some cheese, some spices, chicken, and of course your mushrooms, and onions, and garlic. So yeah, with the chicken, mushroom, and gnocchi soup, I'm thinking maybe a side dish could be some garlic bread. I think garlic bread sounds really good with that. And garlic bread, honestly, is super easy to make at home. Normally, I go to the clearance aisle of the bread section at Walmart. So, their bakery section, they have clearance of, stuff that is close to going out, expired. And I buy it and I toss it in my deep freeze because bread is really good in the freezer as long as it isn't, open to air or anything like that. Normally what I do is I buy the really long baguettes whenever they're really cheap, and then I just cut them in half, and then I slice them, and I just fold them open, and I put butter, and then I put garlic and onion and Italian seasoning on the top, and I bake it in the oven. So technically it's half of a baguette, but a fourth, because there's one and one. So cut it in half, and then cut it vertically, and I cut it horizontal. So technically a fourth of a baguette. So half of a baguette per meal. Okay, so that is 5 of our, no, that's 6 of our 7. So I just need to do one more. I'm seeing, so we have 2 chicken dishes, 1 pork chop dish, and then we have 1 dish that has bacon. Not really, I guess, yeah, a pork dish. And then Mythenton pizzas, which has pepperoni, whatever you want to classify pepperoni as. Okay, so let's see if, so I have a bunch of burgers, just burger patties. That's probably what I'm going to do for my last meal, is I'm just going to do burgers. So now it's just time to take it and put them on our list. So I already know that Sunday is going to be leftover day, so I'm just going to go ahead and pop that on. Leftovers. But yeah, I hope showing you guys how I meal plan really does help. Make a list of what you have in your pantry. Even if the list is, just a couple of ingredients long. Or if you're sitting there meal planning at your table, set your ingredients out. That way it's a visual representation of what you have to use. Just goes to show you, you don't always have to buy. I made this with a bag of cake mix, eggs, powdered sugar, powdered sugar, lemon zest, some lemon extract that I had. I guess you could also use lemon juice. So I made these at home. Really, really yummy looking lemon crinkle cookies. Not really crinkle cookies because I didn't put them in granulated sugar. I just did powdered sugar. But yeah, I made like a whole batch of them and I ate so many, but they're really good. Super soft in the middle. Just look up recipes. The internet is your friend. Like, you can find so many recipes on there. If you don't have everything in your kitchen, look up substitutes. Yes, it won't be as good as fast food. It won't be as good as if you go out and eat it, but you're cooking from home. The more you cook, the more it will become natural. The more you know how to substitute. I know times are really tough right now, and it's really, really hard to make your dollar stretch. It does. It's a struggle. It's why we've decided to not go out to eat anymore. The price of convenience, the price of being able to go out and get prepared meals, even just some prepared box meals are actually more expensive than making it at home. And it really sucks. It really does. But we're all in this together, you know? What works for me hopefully works for you. If it doesn't work for you, I mean, you can obviously tell me in the comments if it doesn't work for you, but I'm just here sharing my ideas, sharing what I have found out along the way of cooking at home. But if you have any other tips, put them down in the comments below. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and to hit the bell icon so that you can get notified every time I upload a stupid video like this one. But thank you guys once again so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!